My name's Sumit Sarkar, and I run product marketing here at Immuta. Today I want to demonstrate applying consistent access control across multiple cloud services. So this demo will explore data access governance across Snowflake and Databricks specifically, but the concepts apply to any number of cloud services. And this fictional analytics team needs to meet organizational rules to mask PII data across these services and limit access to any employee data by region. So we'll start in the Immuta UI. You can see a variety of data sources registered. And we'll show you this is the active cross-cloud data catalog in Immuta. And what that means is you can subscribe to different sources. You can click into these by technology. This one is in Snowflake. And you can see the attributes, and Immuta has automatic sensitive data discovery, so it'll go and tag the fields and classify them based on what it discovers. And you can see also you have another data source here, some HR records in Databricks, and you see the fields are also tagged, and this provides a common classification tier across cloud services, so you can write and create policies. And so that's the active cross-cloud data catalog. And now if we look at the requirements, we want to provide some data masking for PII data across these two services. And so let's just first take a look at what we have. So here in Databricks, this is my notebook. I just queried some data, the HR records table. This table is currently registered with Immuta, and we've classified it. And so there's some PII with first and last name. And then Snowflake, there's some looks like this is voter registration data. So there's some tags in here as well that I showed you earlier. And so now if we go back to Immuta, let's go ahead and enable the policy. So I have a global policy here that masks PII data. You can take a look at that. And I'm going to just, actually, let's dig into this for a moment and see what it looks like. And so you can see this is the policy builder. And you can see that this is the name of the policy, and you can edit the different types of masking techniques and privacy enhancing technologies that are applied dynamically. I'm not going to change those, but I did want to show you what the policy looks like. And so I'm just going to activate this. All right, so now this is active. And so what that means is all the data sources I just showed you in the Immuta's active catalog are now enforced. So if I run this query again in Databricks, you should see that data protected, the first name and last name, and it's now masked for that policy. There are a variety of other techniques you can use, but we just keep it simple with masking. And then in Snowflake, let's take a look at this voter table that I showed you earlier. And you can see here now that these things that were classified as PII, whether it's direct or indirect identifiers, they're all now masked for that policy. And you can change the tags based on your requirements, or change these pets so you can get different utility out of this data. But that gives you a quick overview on the consistent data protection across cloud services using Immuta. You can write a policy once and get enforcement everywhere. And the third thing I want to demonstrate is more on the centralized data access governance. And so how do you start to handle like the condition around, maybe I want the HR team to be able to see the data in the clear, but not other teams. So let me add an exception to this for anyone with a certain role. And so you can see here that it's masking based on these conditions of this tag and this purpose. We can get into purposes at another time, but it's basically giving you access based on your intended use of the data. So we're going to also do possesses an attribute, and we're going to let anybody in HR be able to see the data, so they become an exception. And so let me update this and save the policy, and it's still active. And so now if I go back to Snowflake and run this, go back to Databricks, run this query again, my user is in HR, and so I should be able to see that data in the clear, and I can. If I were to, let me go back to Immuta, and you can now see that my user, Sumit, it has this attribute of human resources, and so it's driving the policy decision based on attributes. This is called attribute-based access control. In this case, it's just hard-coded in Immuta, but it could be pulled from a SAP or Workday system or wherever you want to make the decision point from for that single version of policy truth. And so that's the concepts of data access governance in a centralized way across Databricks and Snowflake. And you can see you get an audit log across your systems if you need to understand who's using what data and for what purposes. And that concludes the demo. If you're interested in trying out Immuta, you should go to www.immuta/try and give it a shot yourself. Thank you for listening.